Good morning, it's Keto Dicky here. I've worked hard for 6 long days and I've got one day to play. It's Sunday in the park. Let's go have some fun. This morning we are at Disney's Hollywood Studios, arriving pretty close to opening. I am pretty hungry, so I'm heading straight into Galaxy's Edge, trying to get some breakfast at Ronto Roasters. Gonna try and have a keto meal. If you're interested in eating keto at the parks, I encourage you to go to my other site, Keto Dicky, and there you can find my Ronto Roasters full review. Now, I found this walk-by very fascinating because, as you could see, the switchbacks were not open yet because the park had just opened, but this line to Rise of the Resistance looked huge. It was quite intimidating. I had heard people all over, well, not all over, but when I walked in, I kept hearing people going, "It's just 45 minutes, it's just 45 minutes." And then I'm sure they got to this line and were like, what the? But they didn't have the switchbacks open yet, so I don't know what it actually was. That's the other thing about arriving pretty close to opening, right after they've gone from early morning admission to regular admission. You get in that first line and it gives you a really nice time, and 5 minutes later they've doubled or tripled the wait time and you're like, what just happened? But anyway, that was not my first stop for the day because I was really hungry. So again, just heading over to Ronto Roasters to get a nice keto meal and then start my day. So here we are arriving to Ronto Roasters. I did go through the line to order as mobile order did not let me make modifications on the wrap. I did have the Ronto wrap. I spoke with the chef, and both the peppercorn sauce and the slaw had sugar in it. So I just got the meats there. Pretty flavorful. Alright, I am officially heading out of breakfast. That was a lot of food at Ronto Roasters. Funniest thing, I was walking out of that place and I just hear someone in there like, "It's jicama." I love that people have to explain food to other people. Like I've never seen jicama before. Although honestly, I don't think I've ever seen actual jicama before. I couldn't pick it out in the grocery store. But Trader Joe's have these jicama taco shells. You can have the tiny taco shells of jicama if you want. So I thought that was very funny. They also have hand sanitizer there. Yeah, it's amazing. So many of these things, the hand sanitizers are out when you go there, but that one definitely did have hand sanitizer. So that was sadly very exciting. So anyway, that was just a lot of food at Ronto Roasters. They totally hooked me up. So I'm a little stuffed. But I figure, Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run, really good ride for people who have just eaten a lot of food. It's not very shaky or anything. Definitely not a risky ride to jump on. So I'm going to head on over there. Not only is it a good ride, it's a single rider line. Yeah, I mean, single rider, you normally just get stuck with an engineer. So you're sitting at the back. It's not the greatest view. Definitely, if you want to have a great experience, I would say go through the regular line and say you want to be a driver, as opposed to agreeing to be a engineer. But if you're just trying to get on a ride, if you've ridden a couple of times, you can jump on the back, or jump in the single rider line, see if you get anything more exciting than single rider, see if you get anything more exciting than engineer. I am definitely right up front. There is no one before me. So, yeah, let's see what I end up.
All right, 26, head straight on in. Good luck, everybody. How many? Six. Come on over. I have 2 pilots.
I had 2 sets of 3 and now a set of 6. Wow, this 5 seconds has been the longest wait of my life. No, I'm just kidding. But generally, there's always groups of 5, groups of 4. You get on pretty quickly, but not today. Some more single riders coming up behind me.
Of money.
Por favor, permanezcan sentados y cuide a los niños. Gracias.
Oh boy. Alright, so surprisingly, I did actually get gunner as opposed to engineer. That was pretty exciting. So I did not have to sit in the very back. I have to say, gunner is not that bad of a view either. Much better than engineer. Something happens when you're all the way in the back, just 2 seats back, that you cannot see as realistic a view. It looks like, I mean, it's far away. It's just, there's nothing over you. It doesn't look like you're really involved in the ride. And then you move up 2 seats to gunner, and it's actually much better view. I mean, you can kind of see like that sort of, I don't want to say 360, but like above you, just everything going on up there, and it's a lot more enjoyable. So I did enjoy that. There was really no wait on the single rider line today. Normally there is, so that was very exciting. I think what I'm going to do is go right back through there and try that left turn that I've never actually done. I'm wondering how many people miss that option for single rider line and just go into the one bay. So we're going to try it again right now, see if we can get through with no wait again. So here we go. Not a great time to judge whether or not the lines are longer to the left, because there really wasn't any line to begin with. But I'm just curious how many people missed that, because I've ran single rider 7, 8, 9 times probably on this ride, and I have not once noticed that I could go to the left. I always go to the right. There's always a wait there normally. So here we are at this hangar baseline. And I'm going to the left, which I never do. And probably a lot of people just keep moving forward instead of turning to the left. So some days, if there's a long wait anywhere, this might be a good option for us. I'm sure it takes us to pretty much the same attraction.
Over here on this line, same side by side, 2 by 2. Next group, please hold. So these are pilots, these are gunners. And that's an engineer!
Flight engineer, repair test. Hit your flashing buttons. Occupant engineer. I'll do it.
Hit the pilot, hit the pilot!
Right pilot, push the button and push forward to fly out. Other one will be ahead. Weapon, make the jump to light speed.
Light speed.
Yes, keep shooting. Yes, you got one. Excellent, my friends. Now power up the ship. High gravity. Axiom. A distraction. Fire the missiles at the train. Hurry. It's coming down.
Okay, so I just got off of the ride, Smuggler's Run, and one child, I have to say, we still got 2 coaxiums, so she's not incompetent, and I don't hate her, which makes me very happy. I swear, children make this ride terrible for everyone else. If they're not your kids, if they're your kids, I'm sure you love them and you don't care whether or not you just get one coaxium. So, there you have it, and I did just ride it 2 times in a row. No, wait, that was very exciting. Gonna try it one more time.
Immediate transport back to the maintenance bay. This thing is practically scrap metal.
Alright, so I have now ridden Smuggler's Run 3 times today. 2 on engineer, 1 on gunner. And you know, I was talking some smack about little kids not being able to play. Let's just talk about grown-up adults not being able to follow directions and play this game. So my second ride, we had a young pilot. She still managed to get us into light speed. We still managed to collect 2 of the coaxiums. And then I get on the third time. Mostly adults, both pilots adults, both gunners adults. I was an adult engineer, and then we had 1 engineer kid. And last time I did it with just 1 engineer, so I'm not going to blame her for anything. And we still only managed to collect 1 of the coaxiums. And I blame the pilot. Like, he didn't even attempt to jump to light speed. Didn't do much piloting on that right pilot job. So, again, fine if it's your family, but when you're the person that's not related to anyone, we're like, no, get them out of there. So anyway, that was my third experience. I meant to actually video the whole thing from the engineer's position, but apparently all I did was take 1 picture. Didn't notice that I switched from photo to video or video to photo, so that's my bad. Okay, some kid in a stroller just rode by screaming, "There's no Starbucks here!" Why is a toddler drinking Starbucks or worried about Starbucks? I just can't imagine. Oh my god, that was fabulous. Okay, it does look like it's 120-minute standby line. Someone just said the rise is back up, so apparently this was down at some point earlier today. But looks like it's back up.
Is everyone assembled? Good. Should Indian flight prep?
Our way. Raise the shields.
We got a company. First order TIE fighters. Reroute.
Cargo vessel TR-141, identify yourselves and prepare to be boarded.
This is TR-141. We are a civilian vessel. By whose authority are we being detained? Stand back from those doors.
This ship is now in control of the First Order. You will vacate this vessel and proceed to your interrogation at once. That means get out.
Alright, so I have just gotten off of Rise of the Resistance. I think that may actually have been the first time I've ever been in the first car, as well as in the front of a car. The view was just much better than I'm used to. The activity was somewhat different. So I think that might be a new experience for me. Also, I was on the car with 2 people with mobility issues. They both had canes. They were both a little bit on the larger side and struggled to get into the ride. Took a little bit, but the fascinating thing, and the reason I bring that up, is because when we were getting off, the cast member saw them starting to struggle, and she was like, "Do you want the door open?" And they were like, "Yes." And so she opened the side of the attraction bigger than the little tiny sliding door. You can actually open those. And she told the riders that if they went back through and they rode again, they could ask for that to be done at the beginning. So if you have any sort of size issues getting on the ride or mobility issues where it's a struggle for you to get through that little door, you can ask them to open it, and instead of just that little sliding door, there's a much larger door that opens and can make it much easier for you to get on and off that attraction. Now, I'm about an hour away from my reservation for Olga's Cantina, so I am going to go ahead and hit up the Muppets.
enter in an orderly fashion and provide an example.
Alright, so just heading out of the Muppets 3D. Walked right in, we were about 3 minutes from showtime, so I totally caught that. Plenty of time for maybe Star Tours. That might be a possibility, so we're going to head over there, see if I can make that before my Olga's Cantina reservation.
Supposed to be just your average.
No, not at all.
Please pick up the nearest white courtesy comlink. Passenger lost.
Alright, so that was Star Tours done. Said 15-minute wait. I was worried when the line was out of the attraction, but we did move through really quickly. Fun ride. It was underwater and Message from BB-8. Don't think I've actually done that ride yet. You know, it varies. I don't know exactly how many missions there are, but I don't think I've done that one before, so that was fun. Now, I'm still an hour away from my Olga's Cantina reservation, but what are you going to do that's an hour? So I'm going to head back through that single rider line one more time for Smuggler's Run, and then just go ahead and head in for my reservation, see if I can get seated at all early. So here we go, back into Galaxy's Edge. Alrighty, so that was my 5th ride of Smuggler's Run. Have to say, that seems a bit excessive to me too. Can't believe I've actually ridden that 5 times today, but I've just been like, the last 2 times was me just trying to kill time till my Olga's Cantina reservation. Good to check in probably now, so I'm gonna hop off, but rode it 5 times. I have to say, the 4th time, the family had no idea. Like, they hadn't ridden it, even when we were in line, and they were telling us how it rolls. Mom's like, so what does that mean? But then we get on it, did terrible. Only one thing of coaxium, I think. But it was a hilarious ride. They were all screaming, shouting instructions to each other. It was a hilarious ride. That family was awesome to ride with. So much fun. Probably my most favorite ride, even though I was stuck in engineering. Just listening to them, like, yelling instructions at each other, screaming during the ride, and then at the end, just applauding each other, telling each other they did a good job, even though we did terrible. It was hilarious. Fun family to ride with. The last one was on a second ride. It was quite amusing, but for a completely different reason. Like, we were just nowhere behind the train, and you know, you've got Hondo being like, go to your right, go to your right, and the wife is back in the like gunner position, and she's like, honey, go to your right, honey, go to your right. We're still not going to the right. Like, he is just not going to the right. Hondo's like, see those big white circles over there? Go there. Again, very amusing ride, but for a completely different reason. And now we're pretty close to reservation time, so I'm going to head into Olga's Cantina and see if I can have a nice keto meal. How are you?
Doing well myself. We are going to be sitting in the car today with some other travelers, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Have you ever been to the cantina before?
Yeah.
Right, if you are now. My friends are going to be right up here today, okay?
Thank you. Alright, after Oga's Cantina, we did head into Toy Story Land. Only attraction we got to today on this area was Toy Story Mania.
Hi, Goofy! Well, beautiful day for a picnic.
Yep, we're off to the park.
See you all there.
Nothing can stop us now. I don't know how. We can have any trouble.
Oh, hiya, folks. Want to take a ride on the train? Yeah. Excuse me, you there.
You talking to me?
Do you mind helping these good people into the cartoon while I fix this here locomotive?
That sounds like a lot of paperwork, but okay.
Thanks. Be back in a jiffy to pick you all up.
Oh no. Our screen. It's broken. Are you scared or something? No. Then what are you waiting for? Get in there, buddy. Screen's leaving. Who's gonna stay back until we fix this? I saw that hand go up. You're not my unpaid intern this afternoon.
Sounds like my job description entirely.
Come down further.
What could possibly go wrong?
Oh no! I must have hit that track switch! This is all my fault! Not a chance! Liftoff! There they are! Baby, rock down! We made it! Nothing can stop us now! We have to stop us from moving along!
Now, let's come
Well, that concludes my guided tour. Hope you had a relaxing ride around the park.
Alright guys, it's been a good day. It's about 4:45. I'm heading out of the parks and down to Disney Springs. Gonna catch the movie. Don't ask me the title. It's the one now everywhere. Blah 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 blah. The Megaverse movie. Or the Multiverse movie. Looking forward to seeing it. Just don't know everything all at once. Something like that. Okay, so I'm heading out to that. Maybe a little dinner at Disney Springs. But this concludes my day at Hollywood Studios.